You know what happens when I'm lonely, blitzy. Oh God, fucking damn it. Yes, I can imagine it a little bit. Oh, little corgis. I love corgis. Blech. I'm currently live streaming on my YouTube channel. No, I didn't mean to do it like that. Where I will be drawing things. Channel name is Gene Bean Streams. This blog will be deleted when the stream is over. God, dude. I'm sorry, not sorry about what I said. I'm just trying to have some fun. Don't worry, don't lose your head. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Okay. Just gonna wait for people to come in. Shut up, Stolas. Hi, Queen Nemmer. How are you? I don't blame you. Stolas freaks me out too. Yeah, I'm watching a guy react to Hell of a Boss. Because this dude, it's on the part where Stolas is like, you know what happens when I'm lonely, Blitzy, and then Blitz is like, oh God, fucking damn it. And then he does that whole like thing where he says a bunch of curse words and it's obviously very explicit. And yeah, you know, it's just and I'm just like, I don't blame you for this guy reacting the way he did to it, because that part freaked me out too. I'm like, I'll be right back. Like she's some troubled teenager. She's like a addicted homeless woman who left me on the phone. Wonder why not a whole lot of people are coming in. Ow. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Stolas and Blitz because I like the comics that people have and make of it, but I gotta remember not to confuse that with uh with the canon. And like you could say like, oh, that's normal, it's hell, it's supposed to be toxic. And I'm like, not necessarily. I mean, have you looked at Moxie and Millie's relationship? They have like one of the most wholesome relationships ever, considering that they are in hell. So yeah. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be like thinking that it's a perfectly normal and healthy relationship, especially considering that Stol regardless of whatever, however, like I sympathize with Stolas, I really do, but like he's still cheating on his wife. Even if he's in an unhappy marriage, he is still cheating on his wife. So yeah, I just don't approve of cheating in the slightest. But the thing about Hell of a Boss characters is just that they're not very black and white, so it's really hard for you to have a black and white opinion of them. I am, however, interested in the direction the show's going to go with their relationship. I'm going to put on the Hamilton soundtrack to listen to while I work. As soon as this State Farm ad goes away. But before I start drawing and whatever, I just want to show you something. So I don't have my desk in here, and I didn't have a chair. Well, I do have chairs, but they're my dining room chairs. But I just took the opportunity to buy a computer chair anyway. So this is my like temporary setup. I've got like a fold out table. It's not very big. I honestly thought it was gonna be a lot bigger than that. I just, and then I got this chair right here. Really cool, huh? It's not anything like super special like a DX Racer or whatever. I don't even know if those are still relevant. But yeah, I put this chair together all by myself. I didn't think I could do it, but I actually pulled it off. I'm gonna go get my drawing stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna start drawing drawings, obviously, but what I mean is I'm gonna draw things that I can like cut out and put on my wall because I want to decorate this game room. I want to like over here in my little drawing center. Gotta find the freaking lever. Hold on. Okay. So I'm just not sure what I should draw first. I actually think that before I start drawing that, I'm gonna draw something for my cousin. Her name is Alyssa. She lives in another state, so no, you spelled it right. I think. Yeah, no, it's Thai. Thai is spelled Tie, and then die. You spelled die right. Yes, this is a tie-dye shirt. It's a bedtime shirt. This isn't the shirt I was wearing today, but when I got home, I was so freaking hot because it was like 100 degrees out today. Like during like the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock time period, it was 100 degrees out. So by the time I got home, I just changed into my pajamas because they're a lot cooler. And I've got like green pants right here. So, yeah. I wonder why nobody's coming in. I haven't listened to this song in a long time. Yes, you're right, and I appreciate having you here. I'm just wondering, what should I draw for my cousin? She said that I could draw whatever I want. I think I'll draw myself holding some cake or something. It's kind of hard for me to remember that because I asked her earlier and she said I can draw whatever I want for her. So I think I'm going to draw myself holding some cake or a party hat or something like that. Alexander Hamilton, waiting in the wings for you. You never back down, you never learn to take your time. Oh, Alexander Hamilton, America sings for you. My cousin, her name is Alyssa. She's in her 20s and she has a kid of her own now. When she was a teenager, I was still a kid. She was born a couple years before me in the 90s. I don't remember what year specifically in the 90s, but I'm the damn fool that shot him. There's a million things I haven't done. Just trying to see how my hair parts cuz I have to find a new way to draw my hair cuz you know, I have a new haircut now. Gonna draw my ears. So how have you been doing Queen Nemmer. Also, I'm glad you're not leaving TikTok. I think I've got it pretty good right here. Just gonna do a little ahage. I remember one time when I was doing a gaming stream with Mickey and Khalil came in, and I'm like, oh, it's my friend Khalil. And she just very, like, no filter involved in this situation, obviously, because this is Mickey we're talking about. She very simply said, oh, it's the asshole. Those red coats won't want it with me, cause I will pop chicka prat these cops till I'm free. A oui oui mon ami, je m'appelle Lafayette, the Lancelot of the revolutionary set. I came from afar just to say bonsoir, tell the king casse-toi, who's the best, c'est moi. Hercules. Oh, I'm doing okay. I had a pretty good day at work today. I'm actually glad that I was able to put this chair together myself. I was worried I was going to fail miserably and I'd have to call my friend Todd. Whoa. This is what I have so far. Oh, who is this kid? What's he gonna do? I'm gonna get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I'm amazed and astonished. Hamilton, you are such a martyr. He was just always like, I'll die if it means that we get to be free. It's like, dude, you can try to do what you want to do without being a martyr. Thanks. That's what I was trying to do. Every time I get a new haircut, I have to relearn, I have to reteach myself how to draw myself. Anarchy. When I fight, I make the other side panicky with my shot. You are my tailor's apprentice, and I got y'all knuckleheads a local parentis. I don't know if you know the feeling, like when you get a new haircut or hairstyle, you have to reteach yourself how to draw your hair. You have to find a style. I just draw myself in a t-shirt because that's a lot of what I wear anyway. Let's get this guy in front of a crowd. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. This is one of my favorite Hamilton songs. It's a really, really epic song. Okay. So far I'm doing pretty good. Just gonna draw my collarbones right there. And now to draw my eyes. When you're living on your knees, you rise up. What's it like in Ireland? Are there a lot of, because the only thing I know about Ireland are like the stereotypes. And I know that doesn't sound very good, but it's kind of hard to know things about other countries when the movies feed us nothing but stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? The only things I really know about Ireland, like I said, are like the stereotypes, like the whole top of the morning to ya thing, and of course the leprechauns and the the shamrocks and whatever. And potatoes, obviously, because of the Irish potato famine. Hmm. Well, I don't really approve of alcoholism because, it causes problems, but it's not my job to tell other people what to do with their lives unless they're hurting me or whatever. All right. Glasses look good. But yeah, that's one of the other Irish stereotypes I'm aware of. Like the whole, they're all drunk. They're always drunk because they're Irish, and there are a lot of pubs in Ireland. Other than that, I'm not really sure. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. My dad actually, his wife lived in Ireland before they got married. Like they met each other online, and even though she's Filipino, she actually lived in Ireland before she married my dad. You caught me doing this. You can't be doing this. I changed it to the queer Kiwi. I'm just going to listen to her rant about double standards. Okay. All right, sketch is almost done. Oh, I didn't know you knew the queer Kiwi. I felt sometimes whenever I hear of like a YouTuber or someone online that I know of, I sometimes feel like I'm the only one who knows that they exist because they're like, I remember last night on my stream I talked about how there are just certain things that exist, but you have to be a certain type of person in order to have come across it. Like you have to be a special kind of nerd to know about Doki Doki Literature Club. You have to be a special kind of kid to know about this Nick Jr. show that almost nobody else has ever heard of. I didn't know her real name until like a couple weeks ago, and I don't know how I missed it because they said it in like videos and whatever. But honestly, her name fits her face. Like when I can look at her face and say, yeah, she looks like her name would be Savannah. Like there are some people who have names that don't really fit their face, or like they look like their name is could be something else based on how they look. Okay. Sketch is done. I love Savannah's rant about how women don't exist for men. Like one of the I don't remember what the first video I watched by her was, but I just remember one thing she explicitly said. I think it was a video where she reviewed the subreddit r/are the straights okay, because I was looking for other people to like make fun of that subreddit because it's just that damn hilarious. I have nothing against straight people, obviously. Like, I'm half straight, meaning that I'm bi, but I'm also ace, so I'm bi romantic. But point is, I have nothing against being straight, obviously. Like, straight phobia is not really something that exists, really, when you think about it, because straight people are not oppressed. They have never been oppressed just for being themselves because, heteronormativity and all that. So like you can't be afraid or oppressed by something that has been considered the norm for several thousand, if not millions of years. So it's just so funny. And also, I just love her line, women don't exist to be attractive to you. I'm like, that is such a brilliant line. Why didn't I think about that? Why didn't I think about that before? Because I'm not clever enough to think about something like that. That's why. There's just. Just had to focus on drawing the outside of my face. My face is very round. There you go. So what else you got going on, Queen? All right, there we go. I just love how I've grown used to the fact that my body is chunky. So I just draw my belly as it is. I like drawing myself with an undercut, though. I think it's a good strategy to cross hatch. I think the undercut part like this. I'm just cross hatching it. Congratulations for going to Spain. I've never been there because I've never been outside the country. I've been to other states, just not other countries. Whoa, sheesh, man, chill out. I don't know much about Spain either. I mean, obviously, the people there speak like what? Spanish. I mean, it's called Spain for a reason. But I hope you have fun. I know that Henry VIII, his first wife was from Spain. His first wife's name was Catherine of Aragon. Ew, Henry VIII. I talked about this on my stream on Friday. I don't remember if you were there. I'm sure you were, but like there's a musical about the six wives of King Henry VIII. It's called Six. Yes, I know that sounds rather obvious when I say it like that. Oh, well, I basically gave a rundown of all of his six wives and like their fates with him, their fates from interacting with him, and what their names were, and his relationship with each of them. His wives were divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. I find it fun. Um, I find it funny how like only one of his wives had a completely unique name. Like, his first wife's name was Catherine, and his second wife's name was Anne Boleyn, and his third wife's name was Jane Seymour, and his fourth wife's name was Anne of Cleves, and his fifth wife's name was Catherine Howard, and his sixth wife's name was Catherine Parr. So three of his wives were named Catherine, and two of them were named Anne. So only one of his wives had a completely unique name. Her name was Jane. It was not Anne or Catherine. So Jane was the only one who had a completely unique name. Which is actually funny considering that also Jane Seymour is regarded as the only one he truly loved, which isn't necessarily true, but I mean, I guess you could say that he truly loved her because she gave him the son he wanted, because none of his other wives could give him a son. I mean, his first wife gave him, like, she had a lot of pregnancies that ended very tragically. The only pregnancy she had that didn't end in tragedy was her pregnancy to Mary, and she's the queen that we now refer to as Bloody Mary. But all of her other pregnancies either ended in miscarriages and stillbirths, and one of the sons that she gave birth to didn't last very long. I think he only lived for 52 days. So yeah, basically people regard Jane as the only one he truly loved because she gave him the son he wanted. And apparently he really started showing how much he loved her after she died, because, she gave him the son he wanted, and then she was gone. She died not that long after the son was born because she got sick during the labor. And I think it was pretty common for women to, like, die after giving birth or something like that. Basically, if a woman died during childbirth, it wasn't that much of a shock. Okay. It says that there's another person in here, but so far that other person is not making themselves vocally known. I did the line art. Now I'm just man, Savannah's just spitting straight facts. But my point is, Jane wasn't technically the only one he truly loved. I guess you could say that he mostly loved her because she gave him a son, and also because in their short time together, she was pretty much exactly what he was looking for in a wife. You know, silent, submissive, doesn't speak against him. I think she only spoke against him like one time, historically speaking. Yep, I did know that. I actually did know that. I found it really weird. Like, I knew that I knew from the musical Six that the guy she wanted to marry before Henry pretty much forced her to marry him. I knew his name was Thomas, but I didn't know his last name was Seymour until much recently because I watched a historical video on Henry's six wives, and it gave more detail into who they were and what their upbringings were and all that. It went into more detail. But yeah, I did know all that about Catherine Parr. Hi, I'm sorry, I don't recognize your name. Maybe you could remind me of who you are, because I don't recognize your username. Sorry. Awesome. But what I was saying was Henry held a certain level of affection for all of his wives. All of his wives, he held a certain level of affection for all of them. It's just that if he had a choice, like if Jane hadn't died, he definitely would have remained married to her until the end of both of their lives. He definitely would have remained married to her. But he had a certain level of affection for all of his wives. Like his first wife, he was they were pretty in love for the large majority of their marriage. And Anne Boleyn, I mean, come on, he literally became the new head of the Church of England, just so he could make up a new rule that you can marry more than once. And all that. So like he moved heaven and earth for this lady, so pretty sure that takes a certain level of dedication and infatuation. Yeah. Except the musical is mostly about like their fates by Henry, and Parr's fate. Parr's fate was she survived him. Not by very long, obviously, but her fate with him was that she survived. Her fate afterwards, yes, she did die in childbirth, similarly to Jane Seymour. But yeah, and of course, I already talked about why he had affection for Jane Seymour, so I don't need to get into that. But Anne of Cleves, his fourth wife, yes, he did insult her because of her looks, and he wasn't married to her for that long because her portrait and versus the real life her, like, didn't impress him or whatever. But that doesn't mean that their relationship was completely terrible. I mean, I think as far as fates went with Henry and his wives, Anne of Cleves, she got off pretty easy. Like, I'm not saying that she didn't have shit happen to her, obviously, but she got off pretty easy, especially considering that she accepted to the divorce. Because I'm pretty sure if she didn't, her head would have rolled. I mean, granted, they gave her, like, whatever ultimatums, like, hey, if you agree to the divorce, we'll give you a generous allowance and all these estates and all these, just, you won't have to go back to Cleves all embarrassed because this marriage didn't work out. But basically, they were pretty generous to her in order to get her to agree to the divorce. But still, it was pretty smart of her to accept the divorce and not just fight against it. I mean, yeah. But actually, after the divorce, she actually still attended court and whatever, but honestly, she managed to become pretty good friends with Henry. So basically, even though he didn't hold a lot of romantic and marital affection for Anne of Cleves, they were just basically better friends than a husband and wife, which is good. They were just basically better at being friends than they were at being married. Oh, I thought it was because in the history video I watched, he disguised himself as a peasant, and he was sure that she would fall in love with him in an instant. But when he burst in on her, she was shocked rather than surprised. And he was humiliated, and he complained that she was the ugly one. Yeah. But like I said, even though their marriage didn't work out, they did manage to become pretty good friends with each other after the divorce. They were just better friends than they were husband and wife, which is fine because not everyone is suited to be married to each other. There are some people who work better as friends rather than as a couple, or whether or not they're married. Just some people are just better at being friends than they are at being married with each other, married to each other. And Catherine Howard, he was very, very lavishing towards her. He gave her jewels and amazing clothes. He just basically gave her a lot of the riches and whatever. Oh yeah, she definitely was young. I think she got beheaded when she was like 18, 19 maybe. It's hard to historically confirm her age. Some things are just hard to track like that, I guess. Considering that she had a whole bunch of siblings, it probably makes sense that way. But yeah, he was very, very charming and all. He was just basically all sorts of charming with her. And heck, even when people brought forth evidence that she was philandering outside of marriage, he didn't want to believe it. He wanted her to be innocent. He called her his rose without a thorn. I'm not romanticizing things between them, obviously, but I'm just saying that that's how Henry treated her. Plus, not justifying this either, but things were different back then. Women didn't have very impressive lifespans back then. nobody really had very impressive lifespans. Like if you were 40 or 50, that was you were considered an old lady or an old man. And so that's why people thought it best to get married at a young age because they didn't have very impressive lifespans. 30 was middle age by that time period's standards. So you can understand why things were the way they were back then. Obviously, it doesn't work like that now because we have like new consent laws, and our lifespans are a lot more impressive nowadays and things changed. But back then it was a ride or die situation. So back then they had to get married and have children while you still had the chance, even if that meant you had to be married when you were like 16 or 17, because those were like your peak childbearing days. And unfortunately, it didn't help that I think it was also pretty common for miscarriages and stillbirths. It's because they kept trying to have baby after baby after baby after baby and whatever. Just basically, there were not a lot of smart life decisions going on back then, but somehow they made it work because Britain is still there and there are still descendants of people from like centuries ago. But yeah, either way, he had tons of affection for Kay Howard. That's just what I call her. I think it's a fun little nickname. And also Catherine Parr. He was very drawn to her mature, gentle behavior. Doesn't change the fact that he forced her to marry him, obviously, but she was very gentle with him and kind, even though she obviously didn't want to be married to him. She was very considerate towards him during their short marriage because, he died before she did. And she even cared for his leg wound, his ulcerated leg wound that had been plaguing him ever since receiving it during his second marriage to Anne Boleyn. Anne didn't give it to him, obviously, not trying to give any ideas here. He got it during like a sporting thing in the tilting yard. Oh yeah, yeah, no. I listen to All You Want to Do practically every day. I sing it practically every day while I'm working. I know exactly her backstory. That's why I personally think as bad as all the other wives had it, they all had it bad to a certain degree because that's the whole point of the musical. Like, who had the biggest load of BS to deal with from the man who put a ring on it? But yeah, I do know. And actually, what she said in the song All You Want to Do about her music teacher being 23, that was actually not true. Her music teacher was older than her. That part is true. But he was actually a lot older than 23. He was 36. She was 13. That part of the song was right, but Mannix was 36, which it was already gross before, but holy crap, you just gotta go the extra mileage, don't you, history? And also, but yeah, that's why I think that Kay Howard had the biggest load of BS to deal with because Not only did she have BS to deal with from Henry because of her, getting her head chopped off and all that other crap, but she had to deal with a lot of BS in her own life before meeting Henry, and she didn't have a very long life, so. Catherine was a massive what now, Anne? What was Catherine now? Is cold wearing yellow to a funeral. Wow, what a weekend. I'm literally like dead. Wait, didn't you actually die? Yeah, and it was so extra. Anyway, I'm Ob's the winner, so I think I'll do another solo. This one I wrote after I had heard that Catherine of Aragon had tragically died. It's called wearing yellow to a funeral. Oh, thank you. I practice fake accents more than I should. I don't know if I can do a good Irish accent. When I think of Irish accents, if I'm not like, I usually think of you or Jacksepticeye because I don't know any other Irish people. I think the YouTuber Razbowski, I think that's his name, is Irish. He sounds Irish, but might not be. Grew up in the French court, oui, bonjour. Life was a chore, so she set sail. 1522 came straight to the UK. All the British dudes lame, epic fail. Ooh, I wanna dance and sing. Politics, not my thing. Ooh, but then I met the king, and soon my daddy said, you should try and get ahead. Actually, fun fact, Anne had a sister named Mary. Yeah, I think her name was Mary. Mary was a pretty common name back then, now that I think about it. Uh, and she was a very promiscuous lady. She conducted affairs with several men, and she actually was one of King Henry's mistresses for a short while. She had a short-lived affair with him while he was still married to Catherine. Because I don't know if you remember in the Queen, the audio from the show where the queens are fighting before Catherine Parr has her song. They're all fighting over who had to deal with the worst crap. Um, and Catherine of Aragon said, well, did you know that while I was queen, Henry had not one, not two, but three historically confirmed mistresses? And I'm pretty sure one of them was Anne Boleyn's sister. And then Anne's over here like, oh yeah, well, I had not one, not two, but three miscarriages. I'll pick that up. I'll get that later. Let's just go ahead. I love the part in the song "Don't Lose Your Head" where she's like Henry's out every night on the town, just sleeping around. Like, what the hell? If that's how it's gonna be, maybe I'll flirt with a guy or three just to make him gel. Henry finds out and he goes mental. He screams and shouts like so judgmental. You damned witch, mate, just shut up. I wouldn't be such a if you could get it up. And then it's like, oh, here we go. Is that what you said? And now he's going round like off with her head. Jeez. What was with Europe back then? Not judging or anything, not saying America has the cleanest history, but what is with Europe and them always being like, off with their heads? It's just all about like, off with their head, off with her head, off with his head, off with your head, off with his head in particular. I don't know. It just seems to me like people in Europe had a thing for making people's heads roll. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That is something I did not know. Just goes to show that you can learn something new every single day. I can try to do an Irish accent. Let me warm it up. Top of the morning to ya. Just had to get that out of the way. Just being like, yeah. And this is Queen Nemmer. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. You spin me right around, baby, right around like a record, baby, right around, round, round. And then here's Jacksepticeye. Hey, he's just like, top of the morning to you laddies. My name is Jacksepticeye and welcome back to more Cuphead. I only got 2 episodes recorded before I went out on tour, and it was really a shame because people really seemed to like it, and I was sad that I only got to play it a little. I'm sorry, sir, there must have been a microconverter malfunction. I don't know, is this a really good Irish accent? I can't tell. I can't really hear myself talking very well because I've got these earbuds in. Maybe if I take one out. Oh, that's a wee bit better. I don't know. Maybe I should just stick to speaking in the boring American way. You can feel free to spam me with racist comments if you want, but don't actually. I actually get enough shit already. I think when you're warming up to do an Irish accent, you just absolutely have to do at least one top of the morning to you, because I think that's just one good way to warm up when you're speaking in an Irish accent. When you're speaking in an Irish accent, you've got to do a top of the morning to you laddies or lassies, whichever gender you are. I wonder what the gender neutral term for someone would be in an Irish slang. Oh, whoever knows. Who knows? And then you go into Australian like, good eye, mates. You better not touch that koala. Koalas might look all nice and cute and friendly, but they're actually vicious marsupials that can and will defend themselves. So if you come to Australia and you value your life, don't touch the bloody koalas. I also like doing Russian accents because I like this TikToker called Call Me Chris, and she has all these characters that she plays. If you've ever heard of her or seen her, then you know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna grab my pencil sharpener. And a couple of her characters are Russian. She has a Russian character named Katrina, and Katrina has 2 twin sons named Misha and Sergey. And I love this part in like the opening of one of her skits where Chad comes over and he's like, "Sup, Katrina, did you miss me?" And she said, "About as much as fish misses dry land." All right, I'm afraid to ask, but what do you guys like to do? We like chess, and sports. Oh, okay, well, that's actually a lot more tame than I thought. What kind of sports? Archery, crossbow, self-defense. There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. Do you do anything else, like any arts and crafts? Duh, we do arts and crafts with mother all the time. You telling me Katrina does arts and crafts? There's got to be a catch. Duh, the art of shank making. There it is. Okay. Why is she teaching you to make shanks? You can make shanks out of anything, basically. Why is she teaching you to make shanks? She wants us to be well prepared. Duh, like you could make a shank out of a hairbrush, toothbrush, mop, a broom. Duh, dustpan, bucket, lint roller. Okay, yeah, well, I'll remember that next time I'm getting mugged in a utility closet. Well, don't come crying to us when it happens. So, broom, you say? That's one of my favorite bits where her character Janet is babysitting Katrina's kids, Misha and Sergey. and they basically just swapped kids for the day. And Janet has a 4-year-old kid named Riley. All you need to know about her is that she likes Frozen and she likes to eat dino nuggies. And she talks like, "Mom, there's someone at the door." Okay. "Hey mom, can I sleep with you tonight?" Just the typical toddler voice where she's like, "I'm gonna go play with Misha and Sergey." Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you think that I'm amazing at accents. I don't know if I said thank you beforehand, but just in case I didn't. Hmm. What other accents do I know how to do? Just like a Spanish accent where it's like arriba, and it's like uh let's see. Actually, my name is Miguel. Hola, hola, me llamo Miguel. Just I don't know. I don't know how to do a Spanish accent. Just whatever. And I can do like an Indian accent, and it's just like you sound like I sound like Baljeet from Phineas and Ferb, where it's like I'm just wondering, how did you find me? I do not want to be your nerd. There is no telling how many dimensions you will have to go through. I'm sorry, I do not speak with contractions. I like to speak without the contractions. Think I might need a little work on that one. I think a couple of my coworkers are from India. I know at least one of them is. His name's Anurag. Ah, I stubbed my toe. That's the worst. That's the worst Christmas present, and it's not even Christmas yet. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm almost done coloring in the shirt. It's a lot of coloring to do. The first the first song I ever heard from Six was Don't Lose Your Head, and that one was my favorite for quite a while. I'd say that it's my second favorite. Actually, no, scratch that. It's my third favorite. My first favorite is All You Want to Do. There we go. Just got to do the little shading bits. I need to sharpen my pencil. My cousin is the one who showed me the song Don't Lose Your Head. I vaguely heard about the musical Six, but I didn't really have any interest in listening to it because I was still obsessed with Hamilton. I'm just listening to a video from the Queer Kiwi. She made a video about like this subject on TikTok about how men were making TikToks about like, this is why I don't want a daughter. It's like, and it's just videos of women dancing provocatively or whatever, and it's like, oh, this is why I don't want a daughter, and it's like, why? Because she's owning her body and she's proud to show it off. Like, why are you so obsessed with controlling your hypothetical daughter and her love life? Like, but yet, if your son was sleeping with a lot of girls, you'd be encouraging him and saying, bravo, well done, that's my boy, that's my fuck boy. Just basically, they're saying that it's just basically goes back to that double standard of how men are allowed to be fuck boys, but yet women are not allowed to be fuck girls. Like, they're not allowed to be sluts. I mean, that word is kind of demeaning if you think about it, but it's just basically the double standard of like, if a woman sleeps around with a lot of people, then apparently she's a slut and that's a bad thing, but yet if a man sleeps around with a lot of people, then it's not that big of a deal, or he's even applauded for it, like, yeah, woo, you get as much ass as you possibly can, man. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I also have recently grown attached to the song No Way, which is sung by the first wife, Catherine of Aragon. I just love the theme of like how in the introduction she kept repeatedly saying, like, no matter what happened, I was like, okay, okay, okay. But then when Henry wanted to annul their marriage and marry Anne, she's like, yeah, here's the thing. And no. Just good to know that she has limits. All done. I'm feeling tired. Thank you. Thank you for those words. I know it's not quite midnight, but I'm feeling sleepy probably because I went to bed late last night. So I'm just going to cut the stream short and I think I'm going to go lay down in my bed because I'm getting tired. My next stream will be on this Wednesday. And I'll be playing Super Mario Galaxy again. Hopefully more people will show up. I don't know why I don't know why people didn't show up. I mean, I'm thankful that you were here. I'm really, really thank you so much for staying with me. I'm sorry this was an extremely boring and uneventful stream. I'm sorry I didn't even get to work on the cutouts that I promised, but I'll work on them next time. But thank you so much for staying here with me the whole time, Queen Nemmer. I really owe you one. But thanks for tuning in. I hope next live stream will be better and more eventful, and it won't just be to us two. As much as I enjoy these one-on-one conversations with you, it's also just fun to have other people here. So bye. I'll see you on Wednesday, hopefully.